Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GQ Jedi. If you're not already subscribed to me, blast the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. Guys, I am back. I wasn't going to be on camera today, but I thought that today would be a good time to get back in front of the camera and talk to you guys directly. I'm going to touch back on a video that I made some time ago. That's right, it is the Hasbro Retro Collection. You guys know I only collect vintage, but every once in a while I like to talk about these things because it does blur, it does blend into the Kenner line, some of these toys like the Retro Collection. And as we've all just heard, Target has been sending out a bunch of emails to everyone that has pre-ordered the Retro Collection 6-pack, that Cantina wave, that 6-pack that I was talking about a couple months back. People are maybe not going to be getting those now, or maybe not for some time. It seems that Target has put a screeching halt to that, saying something about the vendors, supply and demand. But in reality, I think it probably has to do with the president's tariffs on these products, anything coming into the country. So if that is the case, my question to you guys first and foremost is, what's your top dollar? What's the most you would pay for a knockoff Ponda Baba made by Hasbro? A knockoff, Luke in Stormtrooper, Luke in Yavin Ceremony. Not true Kenner. I call it a knockoff. Even if Kenner never got around to it, it doesn't matter whether Kenner made the figure. To me, all these Hasbro Retro Collection figures are knockoffs. Doesn't matter whether they've ever been made or not. They're part of a knockoff line because the real line, it stands before you behind me. I haven't had coffee, guys. My mind's a little ugh. But yes, these toys are all right here. This is the real line. The Retro line is a knockoff line, so I don't care if a figure was originally produced in this line or Hasbro's taken a stab at it for the first time. It's irrelevant. It's a knockoff line. So my question again is, how much would you guys pay out there for this knockoff line? These figures that they may not release now, maybe not till later this year, maybe not ever, but if you could get your hands on it, how much would you pay for those? I know some of you guys out there are very die-hard Star Wars collector. You'll buy it if it's a Star Wars on it. Doesn't matter who makes it or how good the product is, what toy it is. To each your own. I don't have the time, the money, or the inclination to collect all of these things that Lucasfilm has put out over the years. Kenner's got my money. Hasbro, you ain't getting my money. But I know a lot of you guys out there do collect both lines, so I am genuinely curious, how did this email, if you were one of those people that were a pre-orderer and you got this email from Target, where does that sit with you? How do you feel about that? I know I'm slinging a lot of questions here. This is really not so much a me giving you information as much a I wanting information. I want information from you guys. So yes, I've got a bunch of questions like, what is your top dollar on this? What's the most you would pay on this? Maybe potentially never going to get released 6-pack, and that's my first question. Second question, I guess, is, do you have buyer's remorse? Are you bummed that you went ahead and tried to order this and maybe not going to get it? What is Hasbro saying? Do you really care? Are you going to chalk it up to whatever? Or do you really have true buyer's remorse? You're like, I shouldn't have even bought that. Like, I'm a diehard guy. I had a momentary, impulse, and I pressed the button. And I'm going to say this because I did this years ago. I had a moment of weakness, I call it, and I ordered the HasLab Razor Crest. And I don't collect modern, but I did it anyway. And then as soon as it showed up, a couple months went by and I sold it. That would be buyer's remorse. I shouldn't have bought that thing. So I'm just curious, for this Retro Collection folks out there, are you gonna have buyer's remorse if this thing finally shows up? Are you gonna realize you don't want them when you actually get them in your hands, if you get them in your hands? Yeah, I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, where you stand with this 6-pack. Did you order it? What are you going to do if it doesn't show up? I'm just curious. I'd love to know what you guys think about all this. And seeing as how, I wanted to talk about Target. Target's got a lot of problems besides just this tariff situation. But what do you guys think of these figures? These figures have been released in some sense, you know, photographs of what this 6-pack look like. By now, you guys have seen the photographs. What do you think of these figures? My money's still on what I've already bought. I saw the versions that they put out that Stan Solo has already made. Han Stormtrooper. Nope. I'm good with the one I already have. Called it. I'm good with the one I have. But I'm curious. What do you guys think? Is Hasbro living up to the hype? Doesn't seem like it. I've talked to a few folks. Some folks are not impressed with these figures that they were going to release. So, I don't know. It just begs the question, like, how long will Hasbro continue milking this cow known as the original trilogy? How long will they keep trying to, like, reel, you know, 40-plus-year-olds back into the collecting world by dangling retro collection style, vintage-looking-esque figures in front of us? You know, again, I understand why people do it. Not everybody can afford to buy the originals. I totally get it. It's a nice placeholder. But you guys know how I feel about Hasbro. Like, my motto's always been do better. You guys have not filled in Kenner's footsteps since you started taking over back in the, you know, mid to late 90s. You know, that 95, 6, 7, 8 era when you guys really got a hold of Kenner and started doing your own thing and making all this figures look like He-Man. You guys have been screwing up since the very beginning, and only occasionally do you get things right from what I hear by the collectors that I talk to in groups. So I'm curious, to you guys out there that follow this channel, they're all about the vintage toys, what do you guys think about this Hasbro snafu, this whole might not get my retro collection that I pre-ordered at Target's now saying, sorry guy, we're gonna have to cancel your pre-order? How does that make you feel? I mean, I've heard enough problems with Hasbro deliveries in general. Hasbro, not, you know, just, they're getting on border with Amazon with the way they package things, and packages coming damaged inside the box. Hasbro cares about as much as Amazon does now. And so now to add this little Lincoln log to the fire of trouble, canceling pre-orders might not be Hasbro's fault, but it certainly doesn't leave a good taste in anyone's mouth. Anyway, guys, that's kind of my rant today. I'm just curious, what do you guys think about this retro situation with Target not getting your pre-order? Maybe ever. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. First off, did you buy did you do the pre-order? And if you did and you got this email, how does that make you feel? That's really what I'd like to know. And guys, I will be back next week with another video, the video that was actually planned, but I wanted to jump on here, like I said, today to get into the mix and talk to you guys while things are fresh in everyone's mind. So with that being said, I do appreciate you guys joining me this Saturday morning. Hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, please give the old like button a thumbs up because it really helps out the channel. And if you've not done so already, blast that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. And remember, collect or collect not, there is no try.